Welcome to our tutorial about adding a new form. Up to this point, we've worked only with one form. Well, since many programs work with more than one form, we should learn about this too, and that's what we'll do in this tutorial. To add a second form, right-click on your application and select Add. You can also do this from the main project menu. Select Add Windows Form. The Add New Item dialog window opens. Select Windows Form. Let's use the default name and click Add. Here we have Form 2. Now at this point, if I run the program, I have my Form 1 that I'm able to manipulate, but I don't have any way to access Form 2. So let's write some code now that gives us access to Form 2. Open the toolbox. Let's drag on a button. Double-click. We'll type form2.show. And let's see how it works. Let's run our program. I click the button on Form 1 and Form 2 shows. Let's go back to our code. Let's hide Form 2. Form2.hide. It's as simple as this. Let's run our program again. Now when I click button 1 on Form 1, Form 2 shows, and when I click button 2, it hides. Let's get back to our code. Let's try something else. Let's see how we can access, for example, the back color properties of Form 2. We'll insert a couple more buttons for this. Let's type Form2 period back color equals space color period, let's say black. And let's utilize button 4 as well. Let me select it from this drop-down menu. We'll click Event. We can simply right-click and copy. And let's paste it here. Let's change black to red. Now let's run our program. We show Form 2. With buttons 3 and 4, we can change the background color between black and red. By the way, if you hide the form, you won't reset it. You see that the form reappears in red. But if I do close the form, it resets. There are many other properties that we can make adjustments to. Let's get back to our code and try something out. For example, Form 2 period text equals, let's say, new text. Oops, let's watch our syntax there. And let's run the program. When I click button 5, I see my new text title appears right here. We do have the ability to change some parameters of an object in more than one way. Let's take a look at how we can change the form size. Form 2 period size equals new size. Open bracket 100, 100 and close parenthesis. What happened here is that we've set our new size for Form 2 using what's called structure size. This stores a pair of integers, typically the width and height of a rectangle. When you mouse over the command, you can read this in the pop-up. Now let's utilize button 7 to see how we can change the width and height of the form independently. We'll type Form 2 period height equals Form 2 period height plus 10. And Form 2 period width equals Form 2 period width plus 10. Okay, let's check our syntax. Let's fix that one. As you see here, we've achieved the same results, changing the size of Form 2, but we've done it in two different ways. Like any result in programming, it can be achieved in different ways, and there's no right or wrong way. It's just a matter of your preference and your habit. Okay, let's run our program. We're going to see how it works now. Click button 6 and the form size is 100 by 100 pixels. Every time I click button 7, the height and width increase by 10 pixels. I click button 6 to reset it. Now let's take a look at how we can change the location of our form. We'll add another button for this. Type Form 2, period, location, equals, new. And here we'll use a structure point. Open parenthesis, 200, comma, 200, close parenthesis. The logic is similar to what we used previously in line 25. It's just that instead of using a structure size, we're using the structure point. Again, if you mouse over, you can read the description. Represents an ordered pair of integer and coordinates. And we'll run our program to check out how it works. When we click button 8, as you can see, the form jumps into position 200 pixels from the left and 200 pixels from the top of the left screen. Now let's take a look at how we can access objects which belong to Form 2. Let's say we'll use a label, and I'm going to call it LBL1. Let's change the font property. Bold 14. OK. Let's create one more button on Form 1. Double-click to edit. Now let's type Form 2, period, LBL1, text, space equals space, hello. Basically, here we've got Form 2's object, LBL1, and the text property of LBL1. Let's run our program and see how it works. We click our new button, and we see our message, hello. This is a pretty basic example of how to add a second form and manipulate the properties of the form, as well as the properties of the objects belonging to that second form. We're going to be looking at these concepts more thoroughly and deeply later in this course. This concludes our tutorial on adding a new and second form.